So you can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down, you can be laying down, you can be stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. If you would like to listen to this in a still position, you can take all the time you need to arrive there. And just let yourself stretch and move in whatever ways you need to do. And just doing your best to let your body move you. And just tuning into what your body needs right now. Maybe some neck rolls feel good. Maybe some cat-cow motions with the spine, or some side body bends or twists. Just anything at all that feels good in your body. And if what feels good in your body right now is stillness, then honoring that stillness whenever it feels right. And there is no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. But if you're feeling ready and would like to come to a still position with the spine nice and straight, you may do so. And if you're in a place where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. And just mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full and intentional cleansing breath. A long and slow inhale in through the nose, just filling up fully as you just pause for a moment when you're full and just experience what it's like to be full right now. And as you need to, slowly letting all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit. Maybe pulling the navel toward the spine to just push that last bit of stagnant air out of you as you again pause to just feel what it's like to be empty. And allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. So you can breathe just like that for a few more rounds for as long as it feels good. Just exaggerating the 4 parts of your breath. The inhale, the pause at the top of the inhale, followed by the exhale, and the pause at the bottom of the exhale. Just consciously slowing down your process of breathing. And at any time, if you haven't already, you can just release this guidance over your breath altogether and allow yourself to step into that role of the witness or the role of the observer. And see if you can just simply watch as your body breathes you, rather than having any direct control or influence over the rhythm or depth of the breath. But just taking a step back and watching your body breathe, just as the force of nature that it is. So taking on that same energy you might have when observing any other force of nature. Maybe looking at a mountain, or watching a storm, or watching the waves roll up along the shoreline. Simply watching. Not trying to change or control anything about what you are watching, but just having a seat and observing. You know that sometimes this feels nearly impossible to do with your own breath and bodily function, so it is perfectly okay if that's where you're at right now. You're just starting to observe just your own face, and even with your eyes closed, maybe seeing any tension on the face or any expression that's resting on the face, in the forehead, or in the mouth. Noticing any feelings that might be communicated by those expressions. Maybe the brow is furrowed, maybe the jaw is tight and holding, maybe the nostrils are slightly flared, maybe the chin. And just by noticing where those areas of tension are, that is exactly what gives you the power to instead soften these areas. So just allow your jaw to hang into place. Allow your lips to be soft, the corners of the mouth. And just feel how this softness in the whole area of the mouth will naturally allow more softness in the chin, in the nostrils, naturally spreading outward and upward to the cheeks, to the ears, the corners of the eyes, all the tiny muscles along the lash line, the eyelids, the eyebrows, and the whole width and depth of your forehead. As you feel your hairline soften back just a bit. And just allowing that sense of release and softness to naturally cascade down the rest of your skull. Maybe even feeling the hair follicles just release back slightly. And just this overall sensation that the muscles in the face and in the head are just ungripping from the bones. And if any of this feels difficult to you right now, if it feels maybe nearly impossible to relax the muscles, sometimes it can be really helpful to do the opposite and instead tense up everything and make the face really small and tense as many muscles in the face as you can. And then exhale and release, just so you can clearly feel that difference between when you are holding, resisting, tightening, and when you are softening, allowing, and releasing. Letting the shoulders release down away from the ears. The arms be heavy. And maybe noticing, especially if you're sitting upright, maybe noticing the shoulders coming forward, maybe almost in this protective stance with your heart. The heart kind of curling into this cave of the shoulders. And if you're noticing that, just bring some attention to your collarbones and to the very tips of your shoulders. And just feel as if the tips of your shoulders are reaching away from one another. As you feel the collarbones expand, the heart coming slightly forward and just resting in this more proud position in the body. Feeling this slight tuck in your chin to just elongate the back of the neck. And maybe feeling air able to enter into the lungs with a bit more ease. Allowing your stomach to be soft and all these muscles across the abdomen, just to rest and protect, almost hug the organs. As you feel your glutes and your pelvic floor both soften, as you just fully release yourself into whatever surface is beneath you and supporting you. And just allow yourself to be supported by this surface, allowing yourself to be held. Softening the muscles in the legs and the feet as well. And just reminding yourself of this ultimate safety that we all have here in these bodies on this earth. The safety of gravity holding us to the earth. This hugging sensation of gravity holding you to the surface beneath you. You will not get up and float away if you relax. You will be held. And you are safe in this body. Ultimately, this body is a part of this earth, a part of this world. And that spark within you, your soul, is a part of wherever that comes from. And so you can rest in this ultimate sense of safety, knowing that you are safe on a deep level. And as you remind yourself of this deep sense of safety all of us have, there may be other things that pop up within you, maybe other reminders or seeds that want to be planted of maybe some areas in your life that don't support this sense of safety. Maybe there are people or places that you spend time with or around that don't support this safety. And if those things ever come up, doing your best to allow them to come up and not push them back down deeper, but just simply allow these reminders to be here, allow these seeds to be planted, and just trust that any future action requires this seed to be planted. And having so much patience and kindness with yourself as you move through these changes in life. There is always a period between when we notice something needs to be changed and when we actually make those changes. And so just letting yourself be in whatever stage of change you are in, and just have this sense of trust with yourself, that you are right where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it, and that you are going right where you need to be. And just by taking time to sit with yourself and listen to yourself, it can make that process maybe simpler or more straightforward. So we can know what changes we actually want to make in our lives. And just trusting that doing what you need to do in any area of life, fulfilling your wants, your needs, and desires is not a selfish thing. And living your life the way you need to live it, the way you want to live it, is selfless at the end of the day. It allows you to live more authentically as you. It allows you to show up for the people you love more fully and deeply. And it also inspires others to do the same. It can show a way for others to exist as well as they transition from doing things for others and trying to fulfill others' wants and desires and check off other people's boxes, shifting from there to what you want and what you desire and the boxes you want to check off in your life. And you can bring some attention just into your heart and just feel this physical heart that is beating within you. Remembering how this heart has been pumping life and love into you from before you were even breathing air. from the time you were in your mother's womb up to this exact moment. Just reminding yourself of how great of a gift this truly is. And there is nothing in particular you have done to earn this beating heart, but it is a pure gift of this life. And you can show your gratitude for this gift just by how fully you allow yourself to live this life. By doing what you need to do, by sharing what you need to share in this life. You do have something unique to offer this world. There is nobody else out there exactly like you. And especially in these days where we are constantly observing other people's lives, maybe comparing our lives to others, it can be a very easy thing to forget. But there is not one other person who feels what you feel and perceives the world exactly the way you perceive it. But the way that you are feeling and what you perceive and the events you move through in life can be running parallel to many others, can be very similar to what others experience and feel. And you sharing the things that help you or your experiences, your truth, whatever you feel the urge to share, it will help others who are feeling similarly to you. And your view on life is unique and valuable. And you can rest in the not knowing, that we will never know everything there is to know. And that is a fact. So you don't need to worry about knowing everything. There is nothing you need to figure out. And just let yourself be exactly as you already are. Nothing you need to change. What is it like to be you? You are the only one who knows that. And so you can rest in that knowing. And there will be times where we feel like we know ourselves and we feel connected to ourselves and connected to the world, where we feel whole. And there will be other times where we feel disconnected from ourselves and maybe just in the dark and disconnected from the world around us. And you can just remember this moon analogy that comes from ancient Hellenistic astrology. The moon is the representation of our body, our physical bones, body, our skin, our muscles. And the sun represents our soul, that inner spark that animates our body. Our body is matter, just like the moon. It does not have a light of its own, but it does reflect the light of soul, or of the sun. The moon reflects the sunlight, and our bodies reflect our soul light. And there will be times where we have a full moon, where we feel like a full moon, where we are bright and whole and feel capable of shining light for others in the darkness. And there will be other times where we feel like a new moon, where we're still there physically, but not reflecting any light, in the shadows, in this state of hibernating maybe. And then there are all the phases in between the new moon and the full moon. And we are not meant to stay a full moon all of the time. We are meant to move through these phases, move through these cycles as we do. And our pace of moving through these cycles is complex and unique. Sometimes we might feel in this new moon state for weeks, months, years, who knows? And other times we might feel like a full moon for weeks, months, or years, or days, who knows? These cycles that we move through are unique to you and are very complex. And so you can just allow yourself to be in whatever phase you are in, whatever part of the cycle you are in, and just rest knowing that the next cycle will always come. You will never stay in one stage for too long. The only thing that we can rely on in this life is that things change. And if you're in a stage right now where you feel dark, disconnected, and in that new moon stage, you can just allow yourself to be there. Allow yourself to do all the comfort things that make you feel good. Maybe watch your favorite movies, play your favorite video games, or create art, or hide under the covers. Anything that you need to do to comfort yourself in whatever stage you are in. And trust that the next stage will come. And it always does feel like when you're in those low phases that this is the way you've always felt, this is the way you always will feel, and you're just this dark person maybe. But that is never going to be true. And the only true thing is that things will change. You will change. How you feel will change. You are constantly changing, just like everything else in nature. We are all moving pieces of art. And so you can use these facts, I guess, as a comfort to you to just allow yourself to be disconnected if that's where you're at, and trust that the next phase will come. And you can also use this as a comfort to you to fully feel all the good things if you feel like a full moon right now, and to make the most of it, to do all the things you love, to share all the things you want to share. Because this also is temporary. And there will come a time where you will start to wane. And just erasing that extra layer of the should feelings. Of when you feel like you're in the dark and disconnected and you're telling yourself, well, I should be feeling better. I should be feeling grateful. I should be feeling motivated and like sharing with people. And anytime those thoughts come up, just remind yourself that what you are feeling is exactly what you should be feeling. Or else you wouldn't be feeling it. And letting go of that extra layer can just be so comforting and lighten the load significantly. And sometimes we even have those should feelings when we're feeling good, especially these days when we know that there is so much pain in this world. Maybe we're feeling really good about life, and we tell ourselves that, well, we should be, or we shouldn't be feeling this good because look how much pain is around. Whatever version of those things you might tell yourself. Maybe you don't, and that's great. But if those feelings ever come up, you can also remind yourself that what you are feeling is what you should be feeling, and you deserve to feel great. And you can allow yourself to feel great whenever you feel it. And erasing that layer of guilt, maybe, that you feel when you're feeling really good and you know that there is pain in the world. And just channel that into using your good, using your love that you feel and have to ease others' pains. To do any little thing, even if it's just smiling at someone you walk by or saying hi to your neighbor, or just being a little extra friendly that day, not underestimating the power of your kindness, your love. And so just taking another moment now to just tune back in with your physical body. Notice if there's any areas that tension has crept back, seeing if you can soften anything else just a little bit more. And just take this moment to allow everything you've heard today to just settle. Almost like a snow globe, with all these thoughts and ideas whirling around, just letting them settle down to the ground. And just trusting that anything you've heard today that felt like it resonated with you or struck a chord with you, just knowing that that feeling can come when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing those truths to be enhanced within you, so you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own instincts and your own sense of knowing. And just deepening that trust you have with yourself. Knowing that you already know exactly what you need to do. And maybe what you need to do is nothing at all, and just simply be. So if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. And just feel once again this unique rhythm of your own heart beating in your body. Maybe even feeling this heartbeat in your hands, your palms pulsing into each other, pressing your thumbs into your heart and lifting your heart back into your thumbs. As you just feel this power that is generated through you. And just letting yourself take a final deep and full breath into the body. Just letting yourself fill up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you let your head gently bow. And just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.